Y variable. Y comes from several X variables. So the f of X equation is very, very important, right? Objective of analyze space is to identify and validate the root. Important steps, always in every phase, there are 3 steps, and tools and techniques and deliverables. If you say you have completed the analysis, then you must have answer for all these questions. Have you identified the source of variation? Because variation is the problem. Have you identified the source of variation? If you are really intelligent enough, you should also identify the source of waste. Because waste elimination is also improvement. Variation reduction is also improvement. If you are so intelligent, you will also assess the risk and minimize the risk. See, risk are nothing but the anticipated failure. Risk are nothing but the anticipated failure. You must think of what can go wrong in the future. Nothing has gone wrong so far, but you must think about, you must anticipate failures and then mitigate them well in advance. If you manage variation, manage waste, manage risk, you can effortlessly manage a big industry. You will be a leader, right? Have you identified the potential X and the critical X? What is potential X and what is critical X? Imagine a crime has happened in a highway. A crime has happened in a highway. How the police department will do the investigation? They have to find out the culprit. Immediately they go to the spot. Am I right? Going to the spot as soon as possible is called as Gemba in Lean. Is called as Gemba, G-E-M-B-A, Gemba walk. Go to the problem spot as soon as possible and capture all the information, FIR, first information report. When you go to the spot where a crime has happened, there will be 100 people. If you are there at the time of the happening of the crime, the culprit, the criminal will also be within that 100. Am I correct? Crime has happened and the same instant you are there. That means the criminal is also in the group. Am I correct or not? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That criminal is the critical factor. Now, in order to figure out the criminal from the 100 people who are there, how the police department will work? Police, see, all the 100 people who are there, they are called the potential factor. They are called the potential factor. Definitely 1 out of the 100 is going to be the criminal. But really, police department cannot arrest all the 100 people. They will refer to the information, some CCTV cameras, some little bit of inquiry on the spot. By doing all those things, they will figure out 5 to 10 people. All remaining people, they will collect the details and send them. But those 5 to 10 people are called the critical people. Are called the critical people. Those 5 to 10 people will be investigated in detail to understand the criticality. Same way, in our business process, there will be hundreds of factors. Out of the hundreds of factors, few will be critical. We'll do some investigation, separate out the critical factor and prove the criticality. Once criticality is proved, that factor can be considered the root cause. Further study can be done and then problem can be fixed. And the statistical procedure to study the criticality is called hypothesis testing. Dr. R.K. sir has got a beautiful plan today to teach all of you hypothesis testing. You cannot master the procedure of hypothesis testing if you are not familiar with the statistical tools. Particularly, he will be teaching you type 1 error. He will be teaching you, null hypothesis, alternate hypothesis. He will teach you level of significance. He will teach you p-value. If you understand all these things, you can prove criticality in any situation. You can convince anyone in any organization. See, if you talk to the top management people, they don't believe you easily. If you really wanted to make them believe you, convince you and make the decision in your favor, you must have evidence, statistical evidence. Even if I produce a criminal in front of the judge will not hang the criminal. He will ask me for the evidence. Without evidence, no decision can be taken. So that evidence creation is called validation in statistics. That validation procedure is hypothesis testing. You must master it if you really wanted to grow in your career. Otherwise, you join as a manager, a company, and then you will retire from the company as a senior manager. The word senior will be added because you spent some years. It is not that great joining as a manager and retiring as a senior manager. You must join as a manager and very quickly you become a leader. And for that, all these things are essential. And then, have you statistically validated the root cause? That is hypothesis testing. What kind of hypothesis testing you have done? Have you performed jet test? Have you performed t-test? Have you performed a 2-sample t-test? Have you performed ANOVA? Have you performed 1 proportion test? Have you performed a 2 proportion test? Have you performed the chi-square test? Why so many tests? It all depends on kind of data and the kind of statistics you want to validate. Sometimes it is average. Sometimes it is standard deviation. Sometimes it is proportion. Unless and until you know all these things, you cannot even select the tool. If you are not even strong enough to correctly select the tool, you cannot handle the tool correctly. Right? Tool selection. You need certain knowledge for tool selection, and you need certain experience for effectively handling the tool. Techniques can be mastered. Techniques can be mastered, right? But the curiosity to learn is very important. Has the validator sufficient to produce the result? Is that the crime is done by just one criminal or multiple criminals are involved? How do you know? You can understand that. That is called sufficiency of the factor. You can understand whether single factor is responsible for the problem or multiple factors are involved if you learn correlation and regression analysis. If multiple criminals are involved, all of them should be punished. If multiple factors are pulling down your result, all of them should be optimized. You can gain that knowledge by mastering regression analysis. I'm sure all of you have studied everything. You might think, you are doing MBA and this fellow is talking mathematics and statistics. But without mathematics and statistics, you cannot be a great MBA, right? You have studied, I know, right from 7th standard, you have studied standard deviation. But tell me how many times in your life so far you used the standard deviation? Have you applied it for any real purpose? Now the whole training program, all the 4 or 5 days, we are talking about standard deviation only. Such a powerful tool it is, standard deviation. Square root of summation of x minus x bar the whole squared by n minus 1. All right. So similarly, regression also you might have studied. You have studied in mathematics, right? If it is a straight line, the equation will be y equal to mx plus c. If it is going like a parabola, going up and coming down, you throw a stone, it follow a path called parabola. The equation will be y equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. If it is going up, coming down, again going up, then the equation is cubical. Y equal to ax cube plus bx squared plus cx plus d. Unless and until you learn, and a little bit of mathematics and statistics, and also use it, you can't understand what is happening around you. Have you identified any new risk? You will be taught tomorrow a beautiful tool called FMEA, Failure Mode and Effect Analysis. That will help you handle the risk associated. Right now, we are running the training program, this Six Sigma training program with a lot of risk. You know what are the risks involved? Lot of risk we have associated. If we could meet you face to face, all the risk can be easily eradicated. But now we run a lot of risk by conducting the program online. Like particular only to minimize the risk. Very frequently I have been telling you to come on video. Say for example, Vivek Mahajan. I am seeing him every single minute on the video. I could understand his facial expression. I could understand whether he is listening to me and all those things. In fact, He is the inspiration for me to talk to all of you. Otherwise, I can't talk like this. This is very important, right? And also, once you are on the video, you cannot be distracted easily. Those who see the sounds or noise are coming only from those who are not on video. I never see any disturbance from Vivek. That means just by keeping your video on, you are helping yourself, you are helping your trainer, and you are allowing the process to go on very smoothly. Please do understand there is a reason behind everything. And if you see, all the worst thing you can do is you will increase the risk in your life. You increase the risk in your life, automatically the failure will happen. You increase the risk in your life, failure is for sure. You decrease the risk in your life, success is for sure, right? And that is called FMEA, failure mode and effect analysis. How much is the risk associated in my process? I will quantify, I will reduce. You are now a beautiful risk mitigator. Companies want people who can fight against variation, who can fight against waste, who can fight against risk. If you say, no, sir, I don't know how to fight against variation. I don't know how to fight against waste. I don't know how to fight against risk. Rather, I will be part of the variation. I will be part of the waste. I will be part of the rest. You will be kicked out immediately. Right? Please understand how you make yourself employable. Please understand how you can make yourself a successful entrepreneurs. The keywords are here. Please respect it, right? And you will be come out with very colorful results. All right. So we are talking about analyze base, y equal to f of x. So any process will require input. Right? And those are called the x variable. Raw material, tools, manpower, and some parameters, process parameters also important. The environment, temperature, pressure, all that. They are also called input. X variable includes input and parameters. You take care of the input and the parameters, your outputs will be taken care. Outputs are the yield, outputs are the defect, output can be cycle time. Cycle time can be reduced if you optimize the process steps, right? Customer satisfaction, all of them are Y variable. So Y equal to f of x is the problem solving strategy. This we already discussed. If Y is coffee, what are the X variable? I already had this interaction with you. You told me very correctly. Milk, coffee powder, sugar, temperature, vessel, everything. These are called X1, X2, X3, X4. Now, so many complaints are coming to my quality head office, my head office of my restaurant, saying that coffee is not strong. The problem is strongness of the coffee. What is the CTQ now? The strongness of the coffee. As far as the strongness of the coffee is concerned, the critical factor is coffee powder. The culprit is coffee powder. Potential factors are here. But which is the culprit? Coffee powder is the culprit. So coffee powder is highlighted. So X2 is the critical factor. I want to validate now. I told you, validation means hypothesis testing, statistical procedure. It is not that tough. Can one of you right now prove coffee powder is the culprit as far as the strongness of the coffee is concerned? Is it possible to prove? If you know a procedure, that the procedure is called hypothesis testing. That's all, nothing. Everything what we are teaching is very, very simple. But you should have that curiosity to, listen and grasp it. That's all. Otherwise, when we use the jargons, you will be completely confused. But if you listen carefully, you will start using all the jargons and you will be happy to confuse others, right? You never undergo confusion, rather create confusion to others. You will win, right? Fine. Now, proving the criticality. Take a cup of milk, add 1 spoon of sugar, ask 10 people to drink the coffee. What they will say? Sir, coffee is not strong enough. You added only very little coffee powder. And now the feedback is from all the 10 people. So you have to trust them. Everyone is saying that coffee is not strong enough. Now what will you do? You again take 1 cup of milk and now you add 2 spoons of coffee powder. And now all of them say, sir, coffee is fantastic. Isn't it? Coffee is fantastic. Sir, it is strong. Exactly what I required, you gave me. Beautiful. So now you got the formula. Coffee powder should be 2 spoons. Maybe some 5 gram or 10 gram. So the solution for the problem has arrived. Suppose when I put 3 spoons, what will happen to the coffee? It will become more and more stronger that people cannot drink. Is that criticality is now proved? That's all. Nothing but statistical validation procedure. Hypothesis testing is nothing but small experimentation. Small experimentation. I want to give coffee to 1,000 people. Instead of giving coffee to 1,000 people and getting a bad name, I will prepare coffee for 10 people, understand the criticality, and then serve to all 1,000 people. When I take a small sample, do the experimentation to understand the criticality, that is called hypothesis testing. When I do it for all 1,000 people, that is called design of experiments. The miniature version of design of experiment is called hypothesis testing. See, things are not that tough. And we are really, really capable of simplifying your learnings. You bring any tough module, we will make it as simple as possible. But what is very, very important is the curiosity to learn. And if that is missing, even a simple topic will become complicated. I believe, so far we have not complicated anything, right? Now, suppose I want a black coffee. Now, which is the culprit now? The expectation is black coffee. What should I do now? Should I play?
Milk.
Yeah, I should play with the milk now. What is the solution? Milk equal to 0. So milk equal to 0 is the solution. Coffee powder equal to 10 gram is the solution. Nothing but assigning a value to the critical factor is the solution. How many of you understand the mathematical meaning of solution? Assigning a value to the critical factor is the solution to the problem. Right now, milk equal to 0. Here, coffee powder equal to 10 gram. In an industrial problem, temperature should be 700 degrees Celsius. Operator skill score should be 85. Isn't it? The cutting tool angle should be 42 degree. So an appropriate X factor must be identified and that must be assigned a suitable value. That is called solution. Only to find out that number, we are learning all these statistical relationship and little bit of mathematical concepts. Now, analysis is all about waste, identifying the source of risk, identifying the source of variation. Waste, you can mitigate if you master the lean tools and technique, lean concepts. If you learn FMEA, you can fight against risk. If you learn the Six Sigma tools and techniques, you can fight against variation. No, your skill will be appreciated. Whether the company is small company, medium company, or a big company, you will be paid a high salary. Right? So that is definitely possible. So objectives are, we want to understand the reason and we want to identify the potential causes and then the critical one. Then we want to formulate some hypothesis statement. And this is today's job for Dr. RK is going to be very, very challenging. I'm sure he will do it in a easy manner and make all of you understand these things easily. But please show a lot of interest when he is teaching today, right? And then arrive on the validated root cause. So these are the objectives we have discussed it enough, right? And these are the steps also, stepwise I have given. Step number 7, list all probable X. Find out all the 100 people on the spot. From the 100 people, figure out the 4 or 5 which are having a strong suspect. Once few people are under strong suspect, take them to the lockup or take them to the investigation area, do the investigation. Same way, few factor on which you have heavy suspect, take them for hypothesis testing. And then once hypothesis testing is over, understand the relationship of the critical factor with the problem metric, X and Y. Find out the mathematical equation, whether it's a linear equation or quadratic equation or cubical equation or something of still higher order, you need to figure out. If that equation is identified, you can take decision like the decision review system. Your mathematical equation will give you the blue color line and you can produce whatever result you are expecting to produce. That is called verifying the sufficiency. So there are so many tools Six Sigma is going to give you, but as a green belt, you should be able to pick up the right one given a situation. The situation depends on data, situation depends on kind of statistics you work. See, we all use statistics in our daily life. If I ask your parents, how is your son doing? How is your daughter doing? Your parents will say, sir, my son is doing average. No, average. Average is a statistics. Right? And many a times we use. Right. So I have also mapped the tools. 3 steps. Step number 7, listing all probable yets. You can do it beautifully if you understand the tools like brainstorming, fishbone diagram, YY analysis. You can also explore other tools like value stream mapping. I think I have advised all of you to prepare a flow chart, right? Flow chart of coffee making process. I have not done, right? So all of you today take a small assignment. Prepare a flow chart of the coffee making. Don't write down the coffee making process followed in a 5-star hotel. You prepare a coffee by yourself. Once it is prepared, give it to your mom, ask her the feedback. The way you prepared the coffee as it is, if you have done some mistake, record it, right? The way you prepared the coffee, same way you document it, create a flow chart, and then you can share it in the WhatsApp group, right? I'll tell you what to do with the process flow chart, so that we can understand how the process flow chart will be helpful in your project. Process flow creating the process flow chart is an activity in the define phase, because then only you know where the process starts, where the process ends. In project charter, you have written the scope. How did you write the scope? Where the process starts, where it ends. Everything inside will be in your scope. Everything outside will be out of scope, right? So that information comes. So flow chart, when you improve further, that becomes value stream mapping. And once you have a value stream map of the process, all the wasteful activities can be visualized and can be eliminated. FMEA, that will be taught. And if you use Pareto properly, there is an option in Pareto called stratification. If you use stratification, problem will become focused problem, right? So all these tools, I said optional because these can be used wherever you want, not only in the analysis. So a fishbone diagram. Fishbone diagram is nothing but once you do the brainstorming, for example, we are also not trying to discuss with you very frequently. Nothing but we are doing brainstorming. If you share your opinion, always 2 brains can think better than a single brain, isn't it? So once you conduct the brainstorming, several ideas will come. All the ideas, when you visualize in the form of a fishbone, the diagram is called a fishbone diagram. Such an analysis is called cause and effect analysis. This tool was introduced by a Japanese quality guru called Ishikawa. So you can also call the diagram as Ishikawa diagram, right? And this is called YY analysis. See, most of the time, we work on symptoms instead of working on root cause. If you really wanted to peel away the layers of symptom and reach to the root cause, ask the question why repeatedly. Generally, it is believed that if you ask a question 5 times, symptoms will turn out into real causes, right? And so the analysis is called 5 why analysis. If you know how to ask the question, you will do the analysis beautifully, and then you can solve a problem experienced by a company. And this is called value stream mapping. See, value stream mapping is an upgraded version of flow chart. Today you create flow chart, and tomorrow I will tell you how to convert that into a value stream map. Flow chart contains only the process steps, 4 process steps: milling, welding, painting, and then inspection. Only 4 process steps. This is called the process flow chart. But I add on so many information: how the customer is placing the order, how that information is received by in the company, how production is released, how the raw materials are ordered, how the raw material arrive, how the item is produced. All the activity, we call it manufacturing activity. All the manufacturing activity from order till the delivery of the item, if you visualize, your flow chart will now become value stream map. And also at every stage of the process, how much resource is consumed, how much time is consumed, how much raw material is consumed, how many people are working. If you add all those information, flow chart will now become value stream map. If excess resource is consumed, that's an improvement opportunity. If excess time is consumed, that's an improvement opportunity. If process sequence is not correct, that becomes the bottleneck. That's an improvement opportunity. Right? So value stream map gives opportunity for Kaizen. See here, a kind of star is given. That means an improvement scope is there. And step number 8, Pareto analysis. You already mastered it. You can use Minitab and plot the Pareto effortlessly. Within 1 minute, see your project report, a beautiful project report produced within 15 minutes if you learn that program properly. Pratik, please pay attention here. All right. And if you know how to use Minitab as well as you know the project steps and also the tools, the project report will be of top class and you will be respected for that. Please understand it is only your project which can make you employable. If you can't even do a project properly, I'm not sure what can make you employable. So these are the tools. See here, Pareto, hypothesis testing, scatter, correlation, regression. If you really wanted to learn all these tools, we can help you. And this is how a Pareto will look like. Pareto is a bar chart. See here, the bars are arranged in the descending order and the cumulative percentage is indicated. It is immediately telling me that the defective buttons are the biggest source of failure. So many failures are happening in the company because there are defective buttons. It's a government manufacturing unit. So many governments are getting rejected because of the issues related to the button. Whether the buttons are not stitched, whether the buttons are misaligned, so many reasons. But the problem is defective button. So the projects will be initiated to improve the buttoning process in the industry. This is how Pareto is guiding you. And this is called scatter diagram. This is called a scatter diagram. The red color line is called the regression line. And this is the equation of the regression line. Y equal to mx plus c, what you have studied in 11th standard or 12th standard. You need to use it now. If you don't use it, then you will never become a predictor. You will never become a decision maker, right? And the value R square, when I take square root, that becomes R. That R is called correlation coefficient. If you know how to use all these things, you can analyze the problem and you can solve it. If you develop the regression equation correctly, that regression equation will become a prediction model. If you go to ISRO office in Bangalore, they will tell you the location of satellite very precisely and very accurately, at a particular instant of time. How are they telling the position of the satellite accurately sitting from an office in Bangalore? They have got the regression equation of the motion of the satellite. Am I right? The satellite elliptical path. An equation of the ellipse, you all have studied. X squared by a squared plus y squared by b squared equal to 1. So they have found that equation and then optimized it, and they are using that equation as the prediction model, and that is helping them to predict very correctly the location of satellite at any instant. Same way, you can predict what can happen to your Y if you adjust the X. And these questions I have already told you. So ultimately, the objective of the analyze phase is not only to list the possible causes, mainly to identify and validate the root cause. Root cause is not just one. I'm showing one balloon. It doesn't mean that there can only be one cause. Sometimes there will be multiple causes, right? If it is only one cause, your regression will be simple linear regression. If it is multiple cause, then it will be multiple regression or multiple linear regression, and the linearity depends on the nature of the relationship. So what did we learn here? Identification and validation of the root cause for the waste, risk, and variation is the main objective of analyze phase. You can list all the X variable using the tools brainstorming, fishbone diagram, YY analysis, if needed, value stream mapping, and the FMEA. Right? FMEA will be taught tomorrow, and all else we will see now. And once you have all the X factor, you can narrow down the focus. Why you need to narrow down the focus? Because you can't investigate all 100 people. Like how the police officer is functioning, same way you need to function. Don't waste your time investigating everybody. Rather, use your common sense, do some little bit of brainstorming, and refer to the information that is available in CCTV cameras, and then with available information, narrow down. Then your suspect will be more in certain factor. Those suspect factors should be considered for testing the criticality. And for testing the criticality, you must formulate statement. You must formulate statement. And then once for the formulated statement, you will validate. And then the root cause can be validated with appropriate statistical test. Statistical test, two types of test you need to master. One is test for mean, another one is test for proportion. Mean is different, proportion is different. You know what is mean? Mean is average. I can calculate average for continuous. I can calculate proportion for discrete data. Suppose if I conduct the exam, green belt exam, all of you score mark. Will I be able to calculate average of the marks? Possible? If I calculate the average of the marks, no. Now my focus is on the average. Why do I calculate average? Test mark is continuous data. Suppose after conducting the test, I understand out of 100, 90 people gave the exam very well and they qualify for the certification. Now I have another parameter, 90 by 100. 90 by 100, tell me what it is. Is that 90 by 100 is average or proportion? 90 by 100 is proportion. 90 students out of 100, they qualified for the certification. That is proportion. But the class average is 75%. Class average is 75% means 75% mark. Average is different, proportion is different. You must use average for continuous data. You must use proportion for discrete data or attribute data.